cover-up, Belinsky, UPS magically found the contents, court backing, election predictions, fake polls, Trump versus Biden's rallies.
Welcome to Right on Talk with Mike and Tim, the only political-minded podcast that doesn't take itself so damn seriously. Have some fun with a couple of happy buddies attempting to solve the world's problems with no hate, just humor. Let's get started.
Welcome to Right on Talk with Mike and Tim, along with Mr. Producer. See his fingers? He's here. It's an actual man.
Hey, everybody. Our email address is show@rightontalk.com. Please hit and subscribe to the button there. And then our YouTube channel, Right on Talk, and hit the like button.
And
please.
In the bell.
Bing.
Also, as usual, drum roll.
Our guest.
Our guest today, as usual, Tubby, the political refugee, hiding out somewhere in the hills of California, LA County.
I hope you're avoiding the fires out there.
I haven't. I gotta avoid my neighbors first. Holy hell. Bunch of hippies.
Well, you moved to...
If Woodstock was a zit, these people would all be popped right out of that bastard. I'll tell you right now.
Well, welcome, Tubby. We're glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here. You two are a couple of happy buddies.
Happy.
Oh, my Lord. I've never
Get
heard
off.
I've
Get
never heard
off.
those two words before
No touching.
together. Happy buddies you are.
What else? What's the weather out there?
Smog with a little chance of forest fire.
Well, we're going to head...
With an earthquake mixed in.
You get it all. That's what you get for that beautiful weather.
Yep.
We're going to get right into it.
San Andreas fault.
We got a lot of cover. Tub boy.
We'll get on this media cover-up with the Belinsky.
So
You see that?
that was I watched the whole 1 hour with Tucker
I'll tell you what.
in the media blackout.
Oh, absolutely.
If that guy's lying, okay? If that guy's lying, then he will take the number one spot in the history of liars away from Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was the greatest liar ever, except for if this guy is actually lying, which the Dems allege, there's no question he would take the top spot of the Liars Hall of Fame. So what I'm saying is nobody's ever going to beat the liar's hero, Bill Clinton, ever.
Why the media blackout?
Because I think it's their patriotic duty in their minds. It's their collective patriotic duty to make sure this monster, Donald Trump, doesn't get reelected.
Oh, absolutely.
And that supersedes their journalistic integrity. Oh my God, we got to get Trump out of here for the democracy.
Well,
give me a break.
The thing is, just in case if Biden wins, the Democratic Party is going to go. They'll bring that stuff out just to get rid of Biden. And bring up what's her name as the president.
Kamala.
Yeah, Kamala.
Well, besides President of the United States, is there another occupation that Joe Biden is qualified for? Seriously.
Sales. Car sales.
Yeah.
I think if you went into a he would be the sales manager at a Mercedes dealership, coming out all slick and those big white teeth and the hair plugs.
What can we do to get you in this car today?
We got a special on the clear coat. My boss has never done this before. He knocked off $100 off that clear coat.
Mrs. Lopez, do you realize that your hair matches the color of these tires? Here, let me smell the I think he'd be an out. I think the logical choice here was Walmart greeter. Seriously. Except you see that meme? Welcome to Target.
He'd be whatever it is, spokesperson, salesman. You'd be great. I'd buy a car right off that guy.
Would you?
If not knowing if it was Joe Biden sales manager for California Mercedes, yeah. I'm not that I would buy a Mercedes, by the way. I wouldn't. Nor can
What I would do is I would start asking technical questions, just trying to sell me a car. Okay, what size engine does this have? Okay, what kind of foot-pounds of torque does it? He would never know the answer, and my God, he'd just start making stuff up, and
he'd go right to the Corinthian leather. Feel this in here. This is real, 100% Corinthian leather.
Corinthian leather, yes, a totally made up thing.
And I suggest you look at this used Eldorado.
We're getting off topic
Barrettes.
here.
We are.
Good.
Hey,
God.
it's Friday, for God.
Yeah, for you, not
sakes.
me.
All right, sorry.
So getting back to Bob Alinsky, what a name to begin with.
He's a great name.
If
Come on.
Last night, magically, or yesterday, I should say, UPS found the goods.
Well, the contents.
The contents that Tucker Carlson's producer sent from one coast to the other. My question is, or comment / question, he announced on his show that they were FedExing or UPSing.
Yeah.
Immediately after the show from California to New York, the contents. And the first thing that came to my mind is, why in the world would you announce any of that? Number one. Number two, why would you use UPS, FedEx? Why wouldn't Tucker or whoever, the producer, get on a plane and have the contents on his carry-on bag and never let it leave his side?
I don't know.
It's something's.
It was strange when I was watching Tucker. They said they found the contents of the envelope.
But not the envelope.
Without the envelope. Well, if you found the contents, how would you go, oh, this must be Tucker's stuff from the envelope? But
UPS told the Fox News that a worker in the warehouse found
it, yeah,
and then returned it or turned it in to his
supervisor. Come on.
Wasn't that a thumb drive?
Yeah, it was a little thumb drive. Put it in your pocket and get on a plane and take it straight in.
Something very fishy.
Maybe he was afraid they would mistake the thumb drive for like a pocket knife or something.
Pocket knife.
It's strange. He's going to keep the pressure on UPS, but let's get back to the subject of what the matter with Belinsky and the alleged
Bob Alinsky.
Well, he
Do you not know any Polish people? I mean, seriously.
No.
Actually, there's a guy that has a Polish restaurant, make good pierogies, but other than that,
who's that?
It's
at a market near downtown.
Oh, okay.
So Mr. Bob Alinsky is really, really smart. And from all accounts, he's an American hero along with his family. They did their time in the military and did it well.
Yes, they did. He was in the Navy.
He's been confused in his time because I do know that he's voted Democrat or supported Democrat candidates. So we can't say that he's 100% a hero. However,
Sorry, Mr. Producer.
I believe him very credible. And I also believe that what he said was 100% accurate to the best of his knowledge. I believe that the media is certainly shielding Joe Biden from taking any legitimate questions about this stuff. And the one guy I think is absolutely, I mean, we all know about Hunter, okay?
And frankly, this should not be about Hunter, Biden's son. It's not about him.
Well, it is. I mean, he's included,
but it's not.
But he's been supporting
the
family.
Family has been, but the Biden family has been profiting off of Joe Biden's
For
political
yes,
career for many,
30
many
years.
years. Okay.
He even said
He
that. Hunter said 30 years I've been supporting this family.
Now, Biden's no different than any other politician in Washington. They go in there with nothing. They
come
make
out
180,000 a year, and then they leave office and they got 10 million, 20 million. There's corruption on both sides. It's just the problem I have is the Communist Party of China they decided to do business with.
Oh, okay. So if they would have done, if they went ahead and sold their influence to Romania, that would have been fine.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, with regard to trying to nail Trump with Russia, that was 3.5 years of hell for the country. He being Biden allegedly through his son in Bobolinsky. It sounds better.
But
What do you think?
I don't. You know, he's a politician. They're corrupt. The whole family's corrupt.
The thing is, the one thing about the Bidens is, if their name were Tim and they were you, what would any foreign country want to hire you to go be a quote unquote consultant? No, because you have no discernible talent, right, to be able to fulfill that job. Matter of fact, I'm not sure you have discernible talent to fill this job. But anyway, the Biden family has no discernible talent in any way other than being politicians.
Yeah,
there is no documented evidence that Hunter Biden, Jim Biden, or Joe Biden could fulfill any reasonable function in society besides just trading off of political influence. That's it.
Yeah.
And so these countries, these guys are doing business in foreign countries for a reason. Common sense tells me that.
Well,
so for that to be covered up it's an insult to the intelligence of the American people.
But this goes to the FBI. The FBI had this information and evidence over a year ago and hasn't done a thing.
Well, I think they're investigating it now, but whoop-de-doo.
And it's not the end of the world.
Well, let's change subjects.
Hey,
let's go to.
We'll change. Have you ever heard of a Segway?
No.
Okay.
Isn't that something you ride? A Segway?
There's the talent I referred to right there.
Well, California in Tub-Tub's community, that's all they drive around is Segways.
That's true.
But look,
in their really tight Lieutenant Dangle shorts.
Well, what I find this morning, of course, we all seen this, is the two different rallies: the Biden rallies, the Trump rallies. What I can't help but laugh.
Well, the Trump rallies are huge, thousands of people,
and I go with that.
I love it.
My gut is Trump's going to win if I base it upon
the rally,
the enthusiasm gap.
Question is, how long are the lines going to be on election day, and what is your main purpose for standing in line? If you're 25 years old, hippie, dope-smoking Biden supporter, are you going to wait in line for 2 or 3 hours to vote against Donald Trump? The answer is no.
I'm going to apologize for you to Mr. Producer. Sorry. Hippie.
Are you interrupting me again?
Yeah. He's a hippie. Come on now.
Mr. Producer, he's probably smoking dope right there.
No, I don't think.
But anyway, is there enough enthusiasm from people voting against Trump, but not voting for? There's a difference between voting for Biden and voting against Trump. I would guess the majority of Democrat confused people are going to vote against Trump.
Yes.
And so, is that enough to wait in line for probably hours on election day
For some
in
people,
order to
yeah.
cast your vote.
I brought this to Mike's attention. I go, back when Trump was running against Hillary, you'd see a lot of Hillary bumper stickers on cars. And you'd see them all the time. But this time, I think I've only seen a couple Biden bumper stickers.
That's true. I don't see very much. Biden.
I haven't either.
And then on these these Biden rallies, there's hardly anybody there. Have you seen that one where he got off the plane and there's a group of people they got circles painted on the ground or something. There's like 12 of them. And it's people just sitting in chairs in these circles. And I started laughing. I go, that looks like that game you used to play as a kid. Oh God darn, what's the name? You have a hammer or a mallet, and you hit that stupid little one.
Whack-a-mole.
It looked like whack-a-mole.
I think that was by design.
Yes.
I think that was by design. In order to keep his reflexes sharp, Joe Biden actually plays that in the home.
Yeah.
Well, there is a shot looking down at it. That's exactly what it looks like.
It's a Biden
huge
whack-a-mole.
white mallet.
Oh my God! In order to keep his reflexes sharp, Joe Biden plays that game every day, and he probably said, "I want whack-a-mole." Holy
You okay?
Sorry.
You okay?
Oh, I choked myself up there. Oh.
What?
Joe Biden plays whack-a-mole right before he takes his medication every day.
Well, he is taking something. Maybe he's taking 5-hour energy.
And another thing I saw this morning, they had Michael Moore on TV.
Is he that overweight?
Huh? Yeah, he's that big, like that creature that was on
He's-
Star Wars.
He is a beast. Except the first movie he did actually was funny.
Yeah.
Agree with it or not, he's a talented guy. At least, what's the name of that first movie he did?
It was about the Detroit.
Tubs. Chasing.
When he went after that dude, what's his name?
The CEO of GM.
I keep wanting to say Marley and Me, but that was about a dog. It was some Harvey and Me or Henry and Me or whatever the hell it was. I don't remember.
No, that was a funny movie. He
That
did
was
do a good job.
Roger and Me,
Good.
right?
Roger and
yes,
Me. There you go.
Yes.
I might pull that out of the stack of stuff videos this week.
But going back,
I could see right
saying,
now, all six of our listeners are probably going, Roger and Me, Roger and Me.
Six listeners.
We got 12. Come on.
Well, anyways, Michael Moore was saying, he talking about the polls, he's telling all the Democrats, don't believe these polls. He goes, if you guys believe these polls, you're going to be very disappointed. He was talking about whatever their lead is, cut it way in half because they aren't true. So,
well, most of these
he was
polls,
right last time,
Rasmussen is the only poll that got it right. I think there's one other in 2016. The other polls are all oversampled Democrats and independents. I think it was an NBC poll that oversampled Democrats by 9 and oversampled independents by 5. So, and it was basically a statistical dead heat there. The way I put it on, I would give Trump plus 5 points if it's skewed that way. This is exactly what they did last in 2016, and of course they were all dead wrong.
Yep.
And we remember all the
Russians. The Russians rigged the election.
Well, I remember the night we saw the election night when they announced Trump.
Mm-hmm.
All those whack jobs in the audience, the acceptance speech.
That was so
You
cool.
cried. No.
If Biden wins, I go back to work the next morning. What
I don't know.
It's the way it is.
To be fair, in 2012, when Obama got reelected, I was in my fetal position, sucking my thumb all day long, about freaking crying. I understand I understand that people are upset, but the level of mental illness and meltdown that the Democrats, that's a completely new level, because laying on your couch on your side and sucking your thumb and laying in the fetal position about ready to cry because Obama got reelected, yes, that's mentally ill in and of itself, and I completely admit it. But that is next level of what they did when Trump got elected. And if he gets reelected, which God hopes he does, then I believe there's going to be serious violence.
I'm sure that
Come on.
powers to be in Washington D.C., if it's the military, FBI, law enforcement, federal law enforcement, I don't believe, I could almost assure you that they have plans, very thought out, of what they're going to do if he wins and these riots break out all over the city, different cities. I mean, they're going to have to shut them down immediately.
Well, it's only going to be in a Democratic city, so, you know.
Well, we live in
I don't
Democratic
know.
I know.
cities,
Well,
so does Tubby.
and it happened here, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, every city's a Democrat.
Hey, speaking, Tubby, it just popped in my mind. What about these Trump parades in down Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills?
Yeah,
Those are the most
Did you see
entertaining.
me?
You've never seen that before.
Did you see me?
No.
Were you that one guy that was out there with the baton or?
No.
No, okay.
I broke out the leopard skin song again.
Oh, gross. Oh,
I did.
Oh, God. Oh, I can't get that image out of my head
don't
now.
do that. Then I have to think about what's, involved
Oh,
within that leopard skin.
God.
My large wife was running around in her Wilma Flintstone outfit. It was awesome.
Hey, she's just big boned. Why are you so hard on her?
She's perfect to me. Don't get me wrong, but she still wants to kick Tim's ass. Still wants to kick Tim's ass.
What did Tim do?
What'd I do?
Took that meatball off her plate that one time, and my God, you do not mess with Mrs. Tubby's food. Never, ever, ever mess with Mrs. Tubby's food.
Oh,
Never.
But she has a really nice personality,
Oh.
and she's very sweet.
The violence is way down, boys. I'm feeling pretty good about myself these days.
The last person, when Edith described her friend to Archie, she said, "Well, what's this?" Well, I think they were trying to fix Barney up with somebody. And
yeah, she's a really
remember that
nice
one?
lady.
Edith is, she's so sweet and she's nice. And Archie goes,
Translation, she looks like a dog. Getting back to it.
Yeah,
Yes.
Let's get to the election. It was the last show before the election. Predictions. You start out, Mr. California.
I think the American people, Joe Biden is going to go into this pandemic thing, and I'm telling you, he's talking about how Trump did not react properly, and he didn't give enough seriousness to this thing, and that's the reason why 227,000 people have died. The death rate on this thing is 99.5%. The damage that the shutdown did and the lockdown did is a heck of a lot worse, even though one death is way too many, and I get that, and I feel bad for the people's families who lost people because of COVID-19. However, in the grand scheme of things, this thing is kind of a nothing burger. It really is. And I think
Well, with the exception
people
of
are starting to
people with comorbidities and age.
okay, I get it. And once again, I feel bad for anybody who's lost their lives. But the fact of the matter is, this thing is really not that big of a deal. And people have completely overreacted to this. And I believe that they are voting against Joe Biden's complete overreaction to this thing. And that's why I think Donald Trump's going to win it.
Well, people are just tired. 8 months of this being, you can't do anything, can't go anywhere. Being cooped up.
Depression at
Yes,
almost an
just
all-time high. Drug, alcohol abuse sky high.
It's just
What
Wear your
else do you have to
mask.
do?
Socially distanced.
Exactly.
There's nothing else you can do. And if you get it, you get it. And if you don't, you don't. You don't sit there and worry about it.
But we all must take precautions. But
yeah. But how? It's a pretty simple talk track. Wear your mask.
wash your hands.
Try to stay away from people. Wash your hands. Try to do the right things that you should do anyway. Keep clean.
well,
Keep your hands washed.
except for
and then-
you.
Well,
Yeah.
of course.
The virus wouldn't even want to touch you.
Well, that's true. I found off the virus through body odor. That's how.
That's what I mean.
The CDC does not even recognize my theory that body odor repels the freaking coronavirus.
But couldn't you at least brush your teeth?
For what?
This is as clean as I've been in 9 months.
Oh, what?
Yeah, well, I got a sweater on instead of my
bathrobe?
pajamas from my bathrobe from last night. It's getting washed, and when I get home here in the next hour or so, that bathrobe goes back on. I lay on the couch all day. You can't go bowling. You can't go to movies.
No.
Does that mean you're retiring your Smurf pants that you've had for the past few years?
Those got so many rips up the crotch and everything else. It's all torn out.
So Trump's going to win.
I hope so.
I think people are rebelling against this media. They're rebelling against the Democrat Party. They're just sick and tired of the political correctness. I think that the Trump is Trump 2020. No more Bullstein. It's not exactly that, but it's no more Bullstein.
I'll tell you what.
And,
there's going to be so much
I think people are
payback.
tired of it. They're tired of the BS. People are tired of the BS.
Yeah, that's why the rallies are so huge.
The political payback's going to be hell if he wins. These people put themselves on a train that's going 80,000 miles an hour. And if that Trump train wins, Trump.
And I hope it's from the beginning of the dossier.
Everybody who needs to be out of there, first guy that needs to be out of there is Adam Schiff. From all accounts, his only job is to lie. He doesn't do anything else except lie. I've never seen him say anything that's factually correct, ever.
Is he your rep in California?
Yes. I'll give you a hint. I did not vote for him.
Well, he's as plastic as they come. We got to wrap this baby up.
No, we don't.
Yes,
Yeah,
we do. We got post-production. You just get to hang up and go back out in that sun.
Curl up in
Somewhere in British Columbia right now, in the dead of the cold, some depressed human being is listening to this saying, "No, guys, why are you wrapping this up? Why?"
I hope. So for all you listeners out there, again, our email address is show@rightontalk.com.
Please email.
And please email. And our
Vote for
YouTube
Donald
channel
Trump, for
is
God's
Right On
sake.
Talk, and hit the like button.
Please,
Vote
this
for
is going to be our
Donald Trump.
first. Will you shut up? This is going to be or hopefully our first YouTube video.
Yep.
If I can pull it off. So until next week, we'll have a lot to talk about, obviously.
Vote for Trump.
We'll see you guys.